So Aston Villa have been fined over £500,000 for a compliance issue with the Premier League. Now, is this a massive loss? Of course not. But does it speak to something a bit more worrying about the state of the club and the areas that need fixing? I'm going to let you know about this in a bit. Obviously, guys, welcome to Video Noir. My name is Noir Villain. I'm JM. And you know what? You know what I'm going to say? Make sure you like this video. Make sure you sub to the channel. And actually let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comments, right? So just to kind of get to it, what's actually happened? So Villa have been fined £570,000 by the Premier League. Why is this? So Villa have breached Premier League rule L33, and this concerns delaying of kickoff times or second half restarts. And it's turned out that Aston Villa have actually breached this 9 times in the last season. And as this takes into account any delay that's more than that's just over a minute. It's over a minute. And some of our delays have gone from just over a minute to nearly 2 minutes. And I know this sounds small. Yeah, I know it sounds pedantic. Some people might say that it's over the top. But in a league where TV deals, all those things are paramount for the clubs getting the money that they do, strict scheduling is something that's required. It might sound very American. Americans are dictated a lot by the TV schedule. But in this day and age, with extended stoppage times because of VAR and all that kind of stuff, timing is so important. So I could understand why a club that has done it 9 times, which is a quarter of the games in the Premier League. Is it quarter? No, tight. Well, no, it is a quarter. Just over. No, it is a quarter. No, hold on. 9, 18, 27. Just over a quarter, yeah? Or just under a quarter. Just under a quarter of the games of the Premier League season. Something has to be done. So I understand. And yeah, I understand. Now, it's not about the money. I want to make it clear because, you know, £570,000, is that going to break our pockets? No, it's not going to break our pockets. So it's not catastrophic. However, there's something that we have to consider here. What does this say about our club's professionalism? What does this say about our standards, our compliance competence? And especially where we can see, as Villa fans and those fans that aren't Villa fans as well, you can see that Unai Emery is trying to build a machine, a well-oiled machine, one that is that works well, that moves smoothly. So little things like this are countercultural. It's countercultural to what we're trying to build at Aston Villa, you know. And over the years, we've seen that Aston Villa have kind of become accustomed to some form of compliance problems. You know, if it's not the UEFA fines, it's the fine that we got for the multi-balls and having multiple balls or too many balls. I can't remember what it was exactly. And I know, again, people are probably thinking, mate, you're just being overreactive here. You know what I mean? They're probably saying, I'm just being overreactive. But it speaks to a larger issue of just seamless operation. You know, we're constantly in this conversation about financial restrictions and having to wheel and deal and kind of make things work, and we're pretty good at that. But it's a small thing. I know that there's people that listen to, people that are in leadership, people that run businesses, or they say, you know, the small things matter. You don't overlook the small things. So these are areas that we can improve on. And as I said, Unai Emery is building. He wants to have a club that is working smoothly and operating in complete excellence. When you look at other teams, other organizations, you don't hear these things about their clubs, and maybe you don't hear about it because it's not that big news, that big of a news. But you know, when you think about top clubs, these are the areas that they're gonna have down pat, because it's just bog standard. It's business as usual. It's something they shouldn't have to consider because they've got the systems in place. We can't be doing that. We can't be doing that. And maybe Unai Emery's the problem. You never know. He might be doing his team talks too long, or team talks too long, whatever. We don't know. But the Premier League are obviously not happy with what's happened. So we need to make sure we change that for next season. So yes, is it affecting Aston Villa? No, not transfer wise. It's not It's not affecting our league position. You know, it's not touching our PSR. But you know what? Imagine if it was £1 million. Imagine if we had 18 offences. You know, if we don't get it together, who knows what the fine could be, because it goes up incrementally depending on how many offences you have. But so it's not affecting us financially, but we should care as fans about the culture that our club possesses. As I said, the elite clubs will never have this issue because they have the processes in place and the culture that defines a smooth working system. So, on what I will say, not to be too negative, you know, Villa, we have accepted responsibility, we've apologised, and we've promised to have improvements. So I'm hoping that we see some improvements, and this time next year we won't have anything like this come up. I know it's small, I know it might not feel like this is major news, but it's about culture. Our culture needs to be one of excellence across the board, from top to bottom, in the big macro things, in the micro things as well. So you know what, I'm here. I'm happy to hold my hands up if I'm wrong or if I'm overreacting. Let me know. You know, am I overreacting here? Am I overreacting here, or do you feel the same as me? Is this cognizant or symbolic of potential bigger issues or oversights that the club has? Let me know what your thoughts are. Do you know what I mean? We're here to have discourse. We're here to have a good conversation. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you slap your thoughts and feelings in that comment section right now. Sub to the channel. Continue to push and support this channel as well. And as always, you already know what it is. Up the Villa. Peace.